patience is not unlimited. But we do believe, and the president has been clear on this ever since he was running for high office, that the United States and he felt that the most effective way to ensure Iran could never acquire a nuclear weapon was through diplomacy. That is what we are engaged in now.
Let's analyze this a bit more. Nader Hashemi is an associate professor at the University of Denver. He joins us now live from there. Nader, thanks so much for your time. We've heard there the spokesperson for the State Department, clear message from them. What is this signaling to us?
Well, I think it's more of the sort of diplomatic dance that both the United States and Iran are engaged in before the first meeting of all of the signatories to the Iran nuclear accord takes place in Europe sometime soon, I think within the next week or so. Fundamentally, what's happening here is that the United States, in my view, is playing hardball with Iran. They don't want to sign back on to the nuclear agreement, hoping that time is on their side, believing that Iran is under intense sanction pressure. And if the United States just waits a bit longer, it could get perhaps a better deal from Iran in terms of Iran's nuclear program, in terms of Iran's missile program and its destabilizing activities in the region. So I think that's fundamentally what the calculation is here.
And what kind of reaction can we expect from Iran? I mean, they already said they want the U.S. to lift sanctions before Tehran returns to decompliance. So what can we expect from them? They're also playing really hard when it comes to this.
Yes, they are playing hard. And look, I'm a big critic of the Islamic Republic of Iran. It has a lot of blood on its hands, both internally and across the region, primarily in Syria. But on this issue, I think Iran has the stronger argument. It was the United States that broke the agreement with Iran on its nuclear program. Iran stayed in the agreement 1 year after the United States withdrew from the Iran nuclear agreement. So the United States has the obligation to come back onto the agreement first. The U.S. position is that he wants Iran to make the first move and to come back into full compliance. But I think the onus is really on the United States to make the first move. And this is really the fundamental problem. There's a diplomatic dance going on. Who should make the first move? And the meeting in Europe is to try and bridge the differences to see whether, there can be some sort of compromise to resuscitate an agreement that is on life support.
Right. And are you optimistic when it comes to this EU talks that are supposed to be held? Do you think we will have a resolution to this?
I think it's a very important first step because for the first time, the key players will be actually meeting around the same table, discussing the actual issues rather than sort of issuing threats from their respective capitals. So I think it is a positive move for those of us who believe in diplomacy, for those of us who believe that this is an agreement that needs to be revived. I think there's some hope. But really, as they say, the devil is in the details. Both sides want to play strong to their own publics. They don't want to be seen as compromising and giving in to the other side. But the fact that they're going to be meeting around the same table with European supervision, I think, is a sign of it's a sign of cautious optimism that perhaps this stalemate can be overcome.
Thanks so much, Nader. Nader Hashemi there, an associate professor at the University of Denver. I appreciate your insight for us here at TRT World.